Hi, and welcome back to Plastic Models by a Regular Dude. And the next segment, next part of the Bronco StuG 3. So I'm done up to this point here, as I noted in my last video. So the next part that the instructions show is to do the tracks, but I'm not going to do those yet. I need to kind of figure out what course of action I'm going to take as far as painting and weathering. So the next thing I'm going to do, since I can do it in two sub-assemblies, are the fenders and all the associated parts that go on there. Then once I get that done, I'll be able to determine how I want to proceed from there, as far as if I attach the wheels or I don't attach the wheels, and kind of need to make make a final decision on the markings. So I'll start putting this stuff together here, see what I come up with. The Bronco Tracks, as you can see here, I've got the links on this. It is a template kind of thing, okay? And you just fit each individual track link on there. Then you take one of these, which I've cut off of the sprue with the pins. Okay, as you can see, these pins are very small and very delicate. Basically what you do is, once you have this, what I did to help keep this from moving around is I had it on a piece of tape. But you just line these up in the holes once you put them on the jig here, and you basically, let's see if I can do one here without getting all frustrated. Okay, you just line it up thusly. As you can see, it can cause grief just like that. Okay, so basically you line it up, you put it into the track, and once you have them in the track, then using your cutter, your sprue cutter or whatever, you just nip them off right at the track there. Then you go to the next row and you do the same thing. You put the links together. Okay, as you can tell from my tone, I'm not sold. Here is what a section looks like after it has been assembled. Now, one thing, it's kind of hard to cut the heads even, okay, which is no big deal because you could sand them down. They are supposed to be friction fit. They are very delicate, these pins. They're easy to bend, easy to distort, and some of them don't stay in the track. So what I did to overcome that is using some thin CA glue with a fine applicator tip. I just touched the head of each one with some CA glue to get them to stay in place. And in general, it works pretty good. This is what you get. Okay. Sometimes the glue being so thin, it will seep into, I guess you could use thicker if you wanted, but it'll seep in there. But it's no big deal because it'll break loose, as you can see. But you have to put a lot of them together. And it's just, in short, it's a lot of hassle, and it's very difficult, and you can run out of parts really quick if you're not careful. And see, even like right here, this one, the pin broke, and that's just from just a little bit of usage. So I opted not to use the Bronco Tracks. Now, I've seen people use them and use them to make some really nice tracks, and so I mean, they're doable. It's just I lack patience, and if I get too frustrated doing something, then the enjoyment of the kit starts to wane, and then I'm done. So I opted to try something else. On one of the Google Google Plus groups, and the guy that uses the handle, his name is Mike, goes by Papa Kilo. He saw my plight when I made a request as to where a person could get, if anybody had any recommendations on where to get some magic tracks, because I like using those. And he offered to send me some, and he did. He sent me some Panzer III magic tracks. I love magic tracks, they work really well. However, magic tracks are too narrow to fit on the drive sprocket of the Bronco StuG 3. So I was kind of in a quandary. That wasn't going to work. So what I did is I ordered some Kaizen tracks. These do fit. So my plan to real quick on the magic tracks, he sent me the magic tracks free of charge, just being a nice guy. I can't use them on this kit, but I will be able to use them on a Dragon kit I've got coming up that uses Panzer III tracks that came with DS tracks. So even though they didn't fit for the Bronco kit, they didn't work for the Bronco kit, I will be able to use them. I've talked to him, and I thanked him numerous times. Even though it won't work for that kit, I can use it on another kit, and really stoked. So Mike, Pop Kilo, thanks again. But anyway, so my plan was to assemble the whole thing, tracks included, and paint it. Well, because of the way the Kaizen tracks are, I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the StuG first, and I'll do the tracks separately like I normally do. And I'll save my experiment of doing complete assembly and painting it on another kit. So with that, I think I'm going to call this video quits and get some primer and some paint going on the StuG, and I will assemble the tracks. Now, I will be doing a separate video as kind of a tutorial thing and a review-ish kind of thing on the Kaizen Panzer III tracks. I'm going to do that as a separate video, and I'll put a link in the description below so I don't bore you with that during this build. So, link below for Panzer III/4 mid-version 1942 to 1945 tracks by Kaizen, or Kaizen, whatever it is. So that's it for this edition of the Bronco StuG buddy build with Peter Person. Stay tuned, and as always, any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below, and I will see you all later. Okay, so I test fit it and determined that I needed an extra 4 links, and I've got it held together on the front sprocket there, so you can see that you get the appropriate amount of sag, for my case, right here, and you can adjust it around if you need to, and it fits wonderfully. Now, as you can see here, I've got a little bit of sag here because looking at photos, this usually isn't taut right there. Generally seems to have a little bit of sag there, so that's something else that you can accomplish with these tracks. And I was thinking about it, I am going to have to put these on the vehicle to paint them because I still have to put the tracks on, or the fenders on, and I'm not sure. I'm going to test fit because I might be able to paint it with the tracks off and just feed it through, once I get the tracks painted. But I'll monkey around with that and see what happens. Now, for full disclosure, I did have to do one modification, and on the idlers here, you can probably see back up underneath there, it's a photo etch part, and there's one on both inside portions of the idler. With both of those photo etch pieces, the teeth are too wide to fit in between there. So what I did is I just popped the one on this part, the one that you can't really see, I popped that one off so the guide horns would fit into the idler, and as you can see, it fits like a champ now. So full disclosure, that's something to think about. If you really want those, you'd probably have to figure something else out, but that was my solution. So that's that is the track. So I'm going to go ahead and build the rest of the tracks and see how it looks, and determine if I need to put the fenders on if I can put them on before I install the tracks, or if I have to go ahead and install the tracks and then put the fenders on. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. The Bronco StuG 3 buddy build with Peter Person. So stay tuned, and next time I should be ready to put some primer and paint on this thing. So till next time, if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, please put them in the comment section below, and I will see you all later. Alright, so here it sits. The StuG 3 construction is complete, as well as the tracks. So it is ready for paint and primer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this video quits, and I am going to stop construction and further work on this kit until Peter Person, the one I'm doing the buddy build with, gets well enough and feels well enough to continue on. So for the Peter Person Brett G buddy build on the Bronco StuG 3, it is temporarily on hold until Peter is feeling better and feeling up to working on the kit again. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the box below, and I will see you next time.